guys, so today I'm going to do a video about my best and worst times or experiences related to travel. Yeah, so strangely enough, I have noticed that actually when traveling, or maybe it's just me, very often the best and the worst actually end up being the same thing. The first thing, I think many of you know about this incident or this time. I was 19, so it was 5 years ago. Oh my god, that makes me feel so old. I went to Russia, Moscow on my own for the first time. It was my first time traveling, period. And it was obviously my first time therefore traveling solo. I had been traveling before that throughout Europe following a tour of a band that I really liked. And that was a great experience. That was such an amazing time in my life, honestly. But that was also very exhausting because we were traveling all the time, having shows every 2 nights probably, very often sleeping outside before the concert in front of the venue, and I was sick. So I arrived in Moscow completely lost, and Russia is a very different place. And don't get me wrong, I went back to Russia, I love Russia. It is very different from France, and it was very different from everything I had experienced in Europe. When I landed, I looked up at the map and I was like, oh my god, I'm never gonna make it to the hotel. So I took a cab. First mistake. They charged me a crazy amount of money, first of all. And secondly, I got really scared because I talked to one guy that put me in a cab, disappeared. Another guy came into the cab. I had no idea where the first guy I talked to had gone to. I didn't know that one guy. Didn't even look at me, didn't even ask me anything. Locked the doors and left. Obviously, I kind of freaked out. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Is it really a cab? I turned to the guy. Well, I didn't turn because obviously it was in front of me, but I told him, excuse me, do you need the address? No English was his answer. Obviously, that didn't make me feel very safe either. End of the story, I still managed to get to the hotel. The guy was completely fine. I had a panic attack for the first time in my life and I didn't even know what was happening to me. I felt like I was gonna die in Russia. I got super sick. I fainted in the hotel room. Great. I managed to get some sleep. The next morning I went to the venue. I spent the whole day sitting in the cold, even though it was summer, and I got super sick. When I say super sick, I don't mean to go into details, but super sick. I was lucky enough though, and I really want to thank God for that, that there were some toilets in a weird supermarkets underground, a few meters away from the queue. I basically spent the whole day back and forth between the toilets and the line. Then the concert happened. I fainted during the show, lost my bag, lost the shoe. No one spoke English, no one spoke even German. I almost lost my papers and my money and everything. That was insane. But really best experience is that I met a lovely girl at that one concert that helped me for everything. She took me home, she bought me food, she paid for my metro ticket. She was just the loveliest person ever. I just want to say one of the best things that happened for me every time when I was traveling was the people that I met. I met so many amazing people. It's even possible for me to even talk to you about these people because so many of them, and I think I even want to write maybe, I don't know, a small book about that because it's just amazing. And the worst experience I've had while traveling, even though personally for me it's really one of my favorite, was when I tried to go from Budapest to Kiev by train. I was the one that decided to take the train. My friends were like, why aren't we taking a plane or something? I was like, no, the train is romantic, it's the adventure, it's Europe, it's amazing. And it was, but it was also a really long adventure. I was sick again. I'm fairly often sick when I'm traveling. Anyway, we take the train. We should have done when we bought the ticket. The lady did not really understand us and she was not really friendly. We get onto the train and suddenly the train stops. It was at night. The train stops in the middle of nowhere. We are informed that we have to change trains. We were at the border between Ukraine and Hungary. We wait for the train in the station that was just completely different from every train station I've seen in my life. We missed the train. I think at that time it was probably around 1 or 2 a.m. We finally found a guy that spoke German, so I speak with him. I understand that the train has left, that there's no train going to Kiev, that we need to go to Lviv. We finally get into the train at maybe 3 a.m. and the journey to leave is very long too. So we got to leave finally. And once again, honestly, met such amazing people during that experience and that time. But anyway, we get to leave. We go to the train station. Well, we get to leave. We do a little bit of a touring or whatever. We change some money. We get back to the train station. No train is going to Kyiv. We think we're gonna take the plane. We don't want to waste another day because the next trains were gonna be on the day after. Get to the airport, a wonderful airport, a really fancy, clean and everything. The planes were very, very expensive. I don't know exactly what got through our mind at that time, but basically we just waited for the whole day and the whole night in the airport. And suddenly we're like, oh my god, it's gonna be 3 a.m. The next train is at 5 a.m. We should get back to the train station. So off to the train station we are. At that point, I am out of it. I have a conjunctivitis or whatever in my eye. I am super sick with a cold or the flu. I think I have fever. I haven't slept in like 2 days. I'm dying. Finally take the train. Kyiv is an amazing city. I loved it, but the way to there was an adventure. Third worst experience I've had was probably paying a huge amount of money on my way back from Japan the first time because I had bought way too many souvenirs for everyone. And I might be like, oh my god, that's not the worst experience. Honestly, it was the worst experience because I was so broke after that. And I felt like it was such a negative way to end the trip. Fourth worst experience was in Stockholm. I was again traveling, following that band that I liked. I have to sleep outside in the very cold Stockholm in front of the venue. I get sick. I get really pissed off, really moody. I don't like Stockholm. I don't like the people in Stockholm. I don't like everything, and I'm like, I want to be out of this city. I have one day to see the city. We're in this bus because I don't want to walk, I don't want to do anything, and we don't have time anyway. We're in this bus that supposedly takes us around Stockholm, and I am exhausted and I'm fighting so hard to stay awake. End up sleeping in the bus, whatever. I don't see anything of Stockholm. The things I've seen anyway I didn't really like. Then we go to the show, and the show is not nice. The crowd is not nice. I got even more pissed off because of some personal stuff that happens. When I get out of the concert, I'm like, oh, that was such a shitty day. Such a shitty day. Honestly, when I think about it, it was such a bad experience. I don't even remember anything positive from that time. I think that's all when it comes to worst experiences. I'll probably do a best experiences if you guys are interested. I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's quite funny and it's always nice to hear about other stories. I would love to hear about your stories, guys, if you have any. Yeah, feel free to let me know. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!